Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Friday, June 26th, 2026. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tas Millis.
What's up, everybody?
Over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello.
Here we are. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, we love you. 5-star ratings and reviews. No TK. He's back in Chicago with the fam. Quick trip back, but we'll see him next week. We got a lot to talk about here today, Tess. So much. We will get into Beef Stew being traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and suddenly the Pistons maybe having a Jalen Duren issue. We'll get into that. The Lakers are keeping Austin Reaves. He got paid. And we got rapid fire questions because this is The Drop. We'll have some fun right at the end. But first, we had a stunning trade on Thursday morning. The Minnesota Timberwolves reportedly acquiring LaMelo Ball and Josh Green from the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first-round pick. That player's like in grade 7 right now. 3 first-round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30, and then 3 second-round picks. I did the emergency podcast yesterday. You can go check that out. Link is in the show notes. Sort of immediately reacting to this, again, stunning trade task. Sort of came out of nowhere. But what side do you want to start with? The Minnesota Timberwolves making a big gamble here on LaMelo Ball? I think that's fair to say, right?
Got to start with the Minnesota side because I'm just excited to watch them in the regular season. And I say the regular season because I'm not betting on them in the playoffs with LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
He's never been there to show it. And I do think that is part of the reason why the Charlotte Hornets decided, hey, we'll get rid of him here. He's played 2 play-in games, and I wasn't convinced that he is going to be a great player after watching those 2 play-in games.
Yeah, right. Had a game winner in the one.
Yeah, it was very up and down.
Yeah, it was an up and down game for sure.
Yeah, he put the weight on his own shoulders and just kept shooting and just kept it. By far and away the most shots for the Charlotte Hornets in both those games combined.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I think Charlotte was really impressed this season with how he reduced his number of shots compared to last year. You know, he took a little step back, and that's what they wanted. He took 20% fewer shots than in 24-25. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are looking at that and say, okay, if he's going to be able to do that and distribute, then I like our chances here with another ball handler beside Anthony Edwards to take that pressure off him. Not super efficient guy. I think if you look at the stats, you think, oh, he must be a pretty good 3-point shooter and all that. I mean, his 3-point shooting is fairly average. His 2-point shooting is way below average. So his true shooting percentage, way below average when it comes to NBA numbers. Pretty bad. 54.6 when the league average is 58.1. But he played 72 games, so maybe he's healthy.
He was last year.
He was last year. And that's why it is surprising that the Charlotte Hornets said, whoa, this is his best season since 21-22, playing 72 games. They reduced his minutes to only 28 minutes per game this season. Did they have a plan to trade him at some point? I think the plan was probably just keep him as healthy as possible, and it actually worked out. But at the same time, when it comes to the playoffs and there's a team that's all over him and ready to battle with him and test him, we can go through all the good teams in the Western Conference, your OKC, your San Antonios. Do you think that LaMelo Ball will be able to play up to that type of level?
So it sounds like you think this is a little too risky for Tim Connolly and the Wolves here.
Yeah, I think so.
In making this move for LaMelo.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, they have depleted their roster.
Oh, yeah.
So
they switched it up. They had too many bigs. Now they're all gone. Rudy Gobert, of course, is still there.
Rudy Gobert's there.
And now they had no guards, and now they've got their backcourt at the very least, and Ayo Dosunmu as well.
Right. Yeah. So without Julius Randle, there's a lot of pressure on Jaden McDaniels, most likely to play a lot of 4, and Johan Berenjay to help out. He is a super young player to help out behind Rudy Gobert. He's had a good game or 2 in the NBA. I mean, really, the games haven't mattered a lot when he's played really well, in Summer League when he's played really well. So, yes, this is a huge risk. LaMelo Ball has never played in a playoff game.
Yeah.
And I think that should be noted. And when you go all the way back even to when he played in Australia in the NBL, he played 12 games there. There wasn't a lot of experience here when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, the tough times, the war of attrition. I don't know if Minnesota is going to be better off in the postseason. I think that's a fair question.
This is the 3rd time in the last 5 off seasons that the Wolves have swung for the fences here. This is Tim Connolly's MO, right? They traded a boatload of draft capital for Rudy Gobert in 2022. And at the time, we said, whoa, that's a lot of draft picks. Yep. 5, I believe it was, for Rudy Gobert. But I think that's ultimately worked out for them. Obviously, it turned them into a great defensive team and a team that was in 2 Western Conference Finals and just like a perennial postseason team now, at least in the mix. So that one worked out. Then he swapped Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo in 2024 after they were in the Western Conference Finals. After they were one of the final 4 teams. Part of that was financial reasons, decisions to be made, but still ballsy. And now they've turned Julius Randle and Naz Reid here into LaMelo Ball. And they don't have a whole lot of moves left to make, I don't think. When you look at what they have in terms of picks, because there's a lot of swaps here, a lot of picks are already out the door. This feels like it's like one final big swing here to try and like shake things up, make this work with LaMelo Ball beside Anthony Edwards. And I think the thinking is, we saw what happened over the last couple of postseasons. Teams load up on Ant. They might make life difficult. Right. They lack other creators, other facilitators, and maybe the hope here is that that's one thing LaMelo can do. When he plays, he's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to create. He will put pressure on. He's obviously going to get it going in transition. That's the thinking, right? Mm-hmm. But man, you're right. We've never seen it in the postseason. And also you're hoping that the body holds up and the ankles are okay. And they were last year, but before that, he obviously missed a lot of time.
Yeah, he's played 63% potential games throughout his career.
Right.
So not that high. But coming off his best season, it is a question why Charlotte would say, we're pulling the plug on the LaMelo Ball experience here to get that first round pick, as you said. So long for now when a 7th grader is able to be an NBA player, plus Naz Reid, and some pick swaps.
Yep.
That's essentially what it comes down to. That's risky. Now, after watching Karl Anthony Towns traded under the Glenn Taylor ownership, okay, you thought, that's all money. This one, as far as trading Naz Reid and a pick, this is a new ownership with Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry. I thought, this is kind of strange. Mm-hmm. But they're swinging for the fence to get another ball handler, to get 2 players from Anthony Edwards' draft, the 1 and 3 pick from that draft, him and LaMelo. It's cool. That's why I'm excited. It's popcorn time.
Oh my God.
But the playoffs are
It's very fun.
Yes.
It should be very fun.
Super fun.
Can you imagine the first post-game interview after, I don't know, an Ant game winner or a LaMelo game winner? The 2 of those guys possibly on the mic. Mm-hmm. Well, first off, somebody will be fined. Somebody will be fined $35,000 for probably a swearing or something like that. But it will be hilarious. Mm-hmm. The Wolves have lacked a dynamic point guard really for the entirety of Anthony Edwards' sort of career here, especially as he's hit his prime now. And as great as Ant is, he's not a natural playmaker. I don't think he ever is going to be, and that's fine. He's a scorer. And we've just seen so many instances where they're just trying to wring out anything out of a half-court possession here with Ant as the main guy. And they're like, all right, well, let's try it with LaMelo here. This is wild.
It's wild.
This is insane in a weird way, but very fun. Maybe it works.
That's why it's awesome for us as basketball fans. It's wild on both sides. The Charlotte Hornets are not a free agency destination. Period. Mm-hmm. They just aren't. And then you go and trade your premier player here for Naz Reid and a future pick. It's shocking. It's surprising. Are they going to be much worse than they were last year?
That's the question.
Yeah, it's
because he is, for as many faults as LaMelo Ball has on his game, and we can go through some of them. Like, the guy does lead winning offenses. Like, the numbers back that up. Mm-hmm. Like, when he plays, of course, a huge part. He's an offensive engine. He creates great shots for players. Again, he pushes it. He's got great size. He's fearless. It does work, or at least in, like that 500-minute sample that we had last year, they had one of the greatest lineups we've ever seen. Now, I think the Hornets are going, fool's gold. Like, really? Didn't get us into the playoffs by any means. There was something there with that lineup, but it's probably not the greatest lineup in the last 25 years of play-by-play data, right? And selling high on him and the healthy year and obviously a contract extension around the corner.
Yeah.
Like they're deciding, we feel comfortable with Coby White maybe replacing it, 80% of it. Mm-hmm. And then Knipple leveling up, Brandon Miller maybe more. I guess that's the thinking here.
Sure.
But it is strange to have a very successful year. I know they didn't make the playoffs, but for the Hornets, best year in a decade?
Mm-hmm.
and then they trade the guy that's like sort of that spearheads the whole thing.
Yeah, and you're not going to pluck some great free agent to replace him by any means. Number one, because it's not a free agency destination. Number two, that's just the way the NBA works now. It's likely if you're going to replace him, it's Coby White or some guy you're going to draft down the road. But as I said, 63% of potential possible games that he's ever played. That's a big question to see him going forward like that. I from Minnesota, you say, okay, Anthony Edwards is our number one guy, and LaMelo Ball showed that he can take fewer shots and he can sort of slide into that secondary role at times.
Yeah, he was still their number one guy. He
was.
But I agree that he's worked really well with Knipple and Brandon Miller, and then the lineup to fill it out was Miles Bridges and Diabate. Yeah. That was the lights out lineup.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
It was really good. It was scary when they got into the play-in games and how he took every shot. I know he did end up hitting that game winner.
Yeah, he got the Prime Video necklace. I remember looking at a photo. I was like, oh yeah, that.
And then the next game after that was a debacle by everybody on the Charlotte Hornets.
They got waxed.
They did. So a lot of those weren't good shots that got him there. He shoot really poorly from 3-point land that game. And you can see the numbers don't bode all that well. You think, again, he's an incredible scorer and 3-point shooter. He's about average, his 3-point percentage, and his 2 points are way lower. And you think, maybe he gets to the free throw line to compensate. He doesn't really get to the free throw line. So it feels like a great regular season player. And when it comes to the postseason, I ain't putting money on it.
He's a 16-game player, eh?
FanDuel is not getting my money. To try and bet on LaMelo Ball. I don't see that happening. It's a tough one. It's a very, very fun experiment, though. Is it not?
Zach Cram made an excellent point on ESPN yesterday. He noted how the Wolves had a choice to make last summer, right? It was Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, potential free agents. And for all intents and purposes, they had to pick between two of the three. They weren't going to be able to keep all three. So what did they do? They went for size. And they went with the power forwards. They had Randall, they had Reed, and they let the smaller Nickeil Alexander-Walker go to Atlanta. And now you fast forward a year here, it feels like they maybe wish they took a mulligan on that, right? Because both those guys are gone, and they go back to more of guards in the Ayo DeSumo signing, obviously who they traded for the trade deadline, and now LaMelo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably, I thought that was a good point.
Yeah.
They went too big maybe, and now we're electing to go the other way. And they have to fill out the rest of the roster here.
Right.
McDaniels, unless he is the answer, and they just go, we're fine. Gobert's the big. McDaniels is the 4. I guess that means who is the 3? Ayo? He's 6'4", so you're getting small. I mean, McDaniels is 6'9". That's okay for a power forward position height-wise, but he's fairly slight. He actually guards like point guards and shooting guards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so then who does that mean is guarding the 3s and 4s on the other team? Ant or Ayo? It's not going to be LaMelo. So they have things to do here.
Yeah.
I think they don't have a lot of money to do it with.
Right. Yeah, I think ideally Ayo is still a bench player, right? I think.
I sort of agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously he got paid here and good for him. And I don't think it's like, crazy that he'll be coming off the bench making, $22 million. Okay, that's fine.
I guess you can look now as I say that, you look at what Wemby was able to do with smaller 4 and 3 beside him. And Wemby's a different guy than Rudy Gobert, but it was Julian Champagnie beside him really sort of as your 4 and Devin Vassell. And so they're smaller. And Rudy
is the power forward position dead?
Yeah, I suppose like Rudy does make everybody want to get away from the lane too. Not as much as Victor Wembanyama, but he does scare everybody from the lane too. So you can see that. Because now, if you're talking about offense on the Minnesota side with Ayo, Anthony Edwards, and LaMelo Ball as your 1, 2, 3, any of those guys can break guys down. So there's that part.
That's good.
Yeah, that's fun. I think there is a little bit more pressure on Jaden McDaniels, even though, as I say, those other 3 guys can do their scoring. We'll see if Jaden can step up. Not Jaden. Yeah, Jaden. Jalen. Jaden, you got to go with Jaden because he's the guy with the defense.
That's exactly. That's how I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jalen's gone. See you later, Jalen McDaniels, unfortunately.
There's a lot more pressure on him, too, obviously.
Yeah.
Level up here.
And he had a good year last year, efficiency-wise. 51 from the floor, 41 from three.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the playoffs, he did come through that with that really, really big game to end their series against the Denver Nuggets in the first round. That was big. But there is pressure on him, and Anthony Edwards is always asking him to keep up. And
he's hitting his prime here soon. He's nearly 26. He'll be 26 at the start of next season.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure on him now. Obviously, he's out there for defensive purposes, but he's going to need to contribute too a little bit more offensively. Like the guy did average still under 15 points per game last year. He had big moments. That's his thing, right? He always has like the big game or two. Everybody gets excited. Oh, wow, we got something here. This guy might be a 25-point per game scorer, but he has not been able to do that consistently. And not that he will have to, because there's a lot of scoring coming in here, but man, they're just thin. They're just thin up front. Like
they are.
Decisions with Kyle Anderson. I mean, he's back on the team. Maybe we'll continue to be there. There's probably a role for him here.
And it's so interesting with Anthony Edwards. This is a move to please him. This is a move to make him happy. This is a move to make the Wolves believe that they can go further in the playoffs. But a big question with LaMelo Ball. And then, as we mentioned here, so much pressure on Rudy Gobert as the guy and the only guy. And sometimes he has to go to the bench. And sometimes when they were able to beat Victor Wembanyama, he was on the bench. And Naz Reid was out there. In game one of the playoffs against the San Antonio Spurs in the fourth quarter, Rudy was on the bench. And Naz Reid was out there on the perimeter just to get Wemby moving. And Rudy's getting old. He's 34 today. Tron catch today. He's 34 today.
Happy birthday, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, so there's...
I'm sorry I called you Rudy Gay on the emergency podcast yesterday.
Tron cat! It's just, at some point, we've always wondered whether Rudy was getting slower. There was that couple years, I guess it felt like a couple years, going from defensive player of the year to, okay, maybe he's getting older, maybe he's getting slower. And now he's just back to being incredible. At some point, it's probably going to, the pendulum's going to swing the other way.
Maybe.
How many more years does Anthony Edwards have with Rudy Gobert balling? And then this experiment now with LaMelo, man, it is... it's tumultuous. It is.
I think a lot of people are, as fun as this is on paper and the jersey sales and the post-game interviews and all that with Ant and Melo as your two guys, I think there's concern that, this will be awesome for 4 months.
Yeah.
This will be great for 4 or 5 months. And then maybe Ant will get tired of LaMelo and the way he plays. I think that's the fear maybe of some Wolves fans, some just casual NBA fans, whatever. I could see it. You can squint and see that happening. Oh, it'll be a great little honeymoon phase. Oh, absolutely. But yeah, especially as the games get a little more important, tight, whatever, into the postseason, will LaMelo be able to keep up? Because again, I just go, holy crap, Wolves GM, Tim Connolly, like we got to call this guy Kenny Rogers, man. This guy's the gambler. This is what he does. He is betting on so many things here. He's betting on LaMelo Ball's health, as you started this off with. He's missed a lot of games with generally wonky ankles. The braces this kid wears on his legs are nuts.
Yeah, and they reduced his minutes too. I think that probably a part of 28 minutes.
He's betting that Anthony Edwards is going to enjoy playing alongside LaMelo Ball. Another ball-dominant co-star, right? Will be sort of new for Ant playing alongside a guy like that. He's betting that LaMelo Ball is going to be playing and exceeding under more scrutiny. Because I'm sorry, you're playing in Charlotte. People just watch the highlights. They're like, oh, that was a cool move. But now these are like, you're going to marquee games, obviously big matchups. So more scrutiny and then just more expectations. This is not, this isn't the Hornets trying to make the playoffs. This is the Wolves trying to win a championship. So there's that. He's betting that Io, McDaniels, Gobert, even Anthony Edwards, who I think is going to be asked to do a lot more defensively now out on the perimeter. Can they cover for LaMelo on that end? LaMelo's big, but he's a joke defensively. He does not try all that hard. He's sort of checked out.
Yeah, I do want to give him some credit for last year. There was some effort on that end.
And they were a top 12 ranked defense, so that's fair. Good pushback.
He was getting after it as much as he possibly could.
You're still putting him on the worst offensive player on the other team generally, though.
Yeah, as far as
you're going to hide him as much as you can.
Yes, and you got to give Anthony Edwards as much rest on the other end to help him offensively. And if you're like, we're talking about all these small lineups. I mean, Io does get after it too, but he's going to be teeny tiny out there. So yeah, there's lots of questions defensively.
And then finally, Connolly is just betting on the idea that he can replace Randall and Naz Reid here with, again, very minimal remaining resources. Like they just don't have a lot. Minnesota's hard capped at the second apron. So they have $208 million committed to 9 players as a result of this trade. They have like $15 million in wiggle room. They have to sign like 5 guys. What's a vet's minimum now? It's like $2.5 million. It's tough.
It's tough.
They will do it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like they have other draft capital to try and get guys and make moves. So this is ballsy.
It is
ballsy.
It is really swinging for the fences, as you said. When it comes down to the numbers, how are they going to fix the holes that they have? And Naz Reid, who was a part of the culture, and now moving to Charlotte, there's that hole too. That's this emotional hole, which I think has got some legitimacy to it, right? I feel that way. Anyways,
and you said you do think this is like a proactive move from Connolly and obviously ownership and the Wolves to like please Ant, so to speak, right? Or to quiet the noise of like, well, that's the next superstar that's going to demand a trade out. Not that that couldn't come, especially if this backfires and blows up in their face. But for now, it does sort of like, all right, a year or two here, we'll see if this works and see how these two mesh together, the Ball and Ant era here.
There's no doubt. They're looking at Anthony Edwards and they're saying, what do you need? You need another ball handler, and that helps him. That being said, it's so tough in the NBA to just plug and play, and we're just going to replace you with a free agent. You can't do that anymore. It's hard to do that. So yeah, this has a shelf life. And because Anthony Edwards has been there for 6 years, but maybe Anthony Edwards really loves this guy. And according to all reports,
of course they ran this by him.
Yeah,
of course.
According to all reports, he really likes playing with that type of guy, or he admires him. He would really like to have him beside him, and it'll be fun in the regular season. I don't know how it's going to work for the postseason. I think that's a legitimate worry. Like, we have LaMelo Ball sometimes, those highlights that you're talking about that people often see in Charlotte, like he gets stopped, kind of by the free throw line. He says, all right, I'm going to dribble out at 10 feet, or like 8 feet back to the 3-point line and chuck. Yeah. Is Anthony Edwards going to be cool with that in the regular season? Yeah, he'll be cool with that. When it comes to the postseason, if he's going to try that routine, which we have never seen, but we have seen in the play-in, and I didn't admire those types of shots. And again, it's the play-in, so you can get away with it. But when it comes to a 7-game series, I think other teams are going to annoy the hell out of LaMelo, and he's just not going to be able to play up to that. We've never seen it.
Maybe he'll prove us wrong.
Yeah, it's possible. He's going to keep chucking those threes, though. He had the most threes shot in the league last year, 740.
How many threes are those two guys alone going to attempt per game?
Over
in
20.
Anthony and
over 20.
I would think so.
Yeah, they're gonna let it rip, and it's gonna it will be fun. For Anthony Edwards, I think it legitimately will be fun. But the whole championship thing, I don't know how it's gonna work. Yeah.
A little bit more from the Hornets side of things here. I know we did touch on it a little bit, but yeah, they are removing here, as most people are calling it, the engine that sort of led the NBA's great lineup, or at least high volume lineup, and a team that was really good offensively, especially after a slow start to the season. They had an unbelievable offensive rating with that special 5 of Ball, Knipple, Miller, Bridges, and Diabate. After the All-Star break, I think Shu had it down for a 134.9 offensive rating, which sounds fake. But they had found something, and now they're electing to go, you know what? Fool's gold. Yeah, we don't have to worry about contract extensions. We think we can replace maybe what he brings on a much cheaper value, and we can turn this over to a Knipple and a Miller. And they get Naz Reid here. I don't want him to get lost in the shuffle here, but he joins a pretty good court when you think of Miller as a small forward, then Diabate up there, Kalkbrenner, Hans Steinbach, who they just drafted. And Naz Reid, he's going to have a hell of a role here, and he's a solid two-way player.
Absolutely. They were 44 and 38 last year. I'd expect the expectation to be 500 this season, and they should be, because Coby White is a real good basketball player. He's definitely good at finding his own shot, and that's a big difference between him and LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball does set up other guys a lot of the time, even though I will pick apart his shot selection. he does pass.
Oh God! Yeah.
And so
he likes to pass.
Coby White, you go and look at his numbers. He definitely he makes his own shot, and he doesn't assist nearly as much as LaMelo Ball when he's on the floor. So him and Conkanipple and Brandon Miller can go looking for their own shots. And those three with Naz Reid and Moussa Diabate, I think you can say that will be their starting five. If Miles Bridges is still there, he'll be gone after this season.
He's an expiring contract, $22 million.
One more year, and then that's it.
He may even be moved here.
Yeah. If anybody wants him, I think he's totally gettable.
Yeah, I think right.
So that's the team going forward, and they can still score. Those guys that I mentioned can still put it in the hole.
Yeah, to get the news out there for everybody, Coby White and the Hornets have agreed to a 3-year, $74 million contract. The Hornets acquired White in a trade with the Bulls before the deadline. He came in. He was pretty damn good off the bench from the Hornets right away. He averaged about 16 points per game. He shot 39% from three in the 21 games. He had a big play-in game. He had a big shot, of course, in that one play-in game. So, yeah, he gets this deal here, which is obviously a fraction of the cost of what LaMelo makes or was making, and maybe even was going to make more in a contract extension. And they like this guy. Also drafted Christian Anderson at number 18. Now, I don't think he's going to slot in here immediately by any means, but maybe down the line. But yeah, they're just selling high. They're literally, I think, just selling high on LaMelo's healthiest season, successful season. It does make you wonder a little bit, what do the Hornets know that the Wolves don't with him? I don't know. That's where my mind goes. I wonder if we're going to get the Now You Tell Us column in a couple weeks here that could break the internet about something about LaMelo. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have some headline about Fortnite having a role in all this. Something insane. I'd be ready for anything, but it's you just don't see a lot of teams do this.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything tangible that they can write about.
Okay.
But you add it all up, those little things, like not playing all the time.
But he did play.
Yeah, well, for 6 years, he's missed nearly 40% of games. That's a lot of games. So there's that. There's his shot selection. There's his, hey, this is sort of my team and everything's on me when it comes to bigger games. So he's never been in the spotlight. Maybe they know that. So I think there's lots of stuff. The defense at times. So
also maybe the pairing and how it worked with LaMelo Ball and then fairly new head coach in Charles Lee. Obviously, they gave it a go here, like this 1 year. But could be that. We could learn more about that.
2 years. He was there for
2 years. Excuse me, 2 years. Thank you. Yeah.
The first year LaMelo didn't play as much.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. Something's coming out.
Sure.
Something. Because there'll have to be a reasoning, so to speak,
I hear what you're saying.
from the Hornets front office. But they'll probably just go, look, we loved the acquisition of Coby White. And there are reports that Coby White and his team was like, I want to start. I don't know if you saw these. So if that's the pressure they're putting on the Hornets, and they're just like, and I mean, I need a role here. I want a role here. At my point in my career, I believe I should have a starting spot. So I don't know. Maybe they're just banking on that. Like, all right, we'll give him the money.
Yeah,
Let him try and run this.
Coby White's an interesting player, as I said. He's not a point guard. Let's put it that way. I mean, he's going to play the position with Conkanipple beside him, and with Brandon Miller beside him. But he's a creator, so that part it's odd, right?
Yeah,
because Coby White is an incredible sixth man. He's going to score forever. But there's things that he does better than LaMelo Ball. Like, he will get to the free throw line a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's more efficient. And he does assist on some plays. Like when he was out there with the Charlotte Hornets, he assisted for a quarter of the buckets that were happening when he was out there. LaMelo did way more. But now you've got more pressure on Conkanipple to make things happen and assist the ball. And I think he is a decent passer. I think he can play make a little bit. Naz Reid to do that a little bit too when he's out there. But I guess right now Naz Reid would still be coming off the bench if they're starting Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate at the 4-5. I guess you're going to drop Moussa Diabate.
I don't know.
Or
I think
either way,
might be starting for them.
Bridges could be out of there.
I also think
at some
Bridges
point.
might be gone. Yeah.
So they have options, but I think this is still a 500 team.
couple other things. In addition to shedding LaMelo Ball's contract in this deal, the Hornets created a $40.7 million trade exception, the largest in NBA history. That's crack cocaine to Bobby Marks right there. He loves this shit. But that's huge. And, you know, there are a lot of whispers, a lot of rumors going around. Ooh, could they be in the Jalen Brown business here? Are they not done?
We'll get to that after the break. I'm sure there'll be some Jalen Brown talk. Lots of Jalen talk.
They also are, and maybe this is related to Jalen Brown, the Hornets are now among the most asset-rich teams in the NBA because they control all their own first-round picks, plus the following first-rounders from other teams like the Mavericks in 27, which is top 2 protected, the Miami Heat 27 pick, lottery protected, becomes unprotected in 28, least favorable of the Jazz, Cavs, and Wolves in 29, and now the 2033 Timberwolves pick, like we talked about, the unprotected pick, and swaps and obviously probably a million second rounders. So they have
They sure do.
a lot of routes to go here if they ever wanted to be aggressive in trying to another big game hunter or another player. But they must feel great about
everything.
Knipple and Brandon Miller, especially.
Yep.
As their, you know, sort of their backbone here.
Yeah, Brandon Miller's health was also a question. You know, he was he got through it this year to some degree, but that's a fair question. But like you said, you set it up with all the draft picks. They're not locked into a lot of money anymore, either. So it's Naz Reid is their highest paid player, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably. He's 4 years, $103 million now.
Yeah, he's making $23 million this next year. And the second highest is Miles Bridges,
22,
which is going to be an expiring contract after this year. And it's Brandon Miller and way on down where you'll probably extend Brandon Miller, but lots of flexibility.
Anything else? How would you grade this then? From both sides, give the Wolves a grade and give the Hornets a grade.
What about from the media podcasting side?
A+, baby.
Plus. Super fun. From the Hornets side, I think it's a B+.
Okay, from the Hornets.
And it sounds so weird because they gave up the best player, but I think they did really well to get that first round pick.
Well, if you're not a believer in LaMelo Ball, it sounds like you are not in terms of postseason potential success. Then sure.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
B+.
So they did well. On the Minnesota side, here they come to the plate. How are that when they swing that bat?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to line
swinging for the fences.
Yeah, they're gonna hit a double in the regular season, but they're gonna swing and miss in the playoffs. I think so.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a C then, at least.
Yeah, I would be more pumped about what they built after trading Julius Randle. Like, this is our team. You know, all the guys here are gonna fight. They are a great locker room type of guys before the LaMelo trade. And then you go and get LaMelo. Like, I was more excited about the Julius Randle trade. I know.
You were, yes. And Trey was like, "Well, hold on, it's almost an incomplete grade for me. I'm not excited about them just saving money by getting rid of Julius Randle because he is a good, at least regular season player."
But it wasn't just a money
wait to see what
saver.
they then do with it. Yeah. But this is sort of a part of that trade.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I mean, I can't wait to hear what TK thinks. He is a LaMelo Ball fan, I would say.
He is. He always has been.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that Julius Randle was just a money saver. He was also a ball stopper when it came to the offense and wasn't efficient. And he was a team guy, there's no doubt. That being said, the offense just wasn't as good. You have to move the ball in this league.
I think a big part of this, in all honesty, is like, let's have fun again. I think it's a small part. Like, I don't know how big a part, small part, whatever. But there is this idea of like, Randall, it's like a bit more of a slog, right? It feels like more difficult. Like, he's good.
Yeah.
LaMelo, it's just going to be like, oh, this is fun as hell. And I'm looking at this from like the lens of like Anthony Edwards.
Oh, he's going to love it.
Like, that will be fun. Will it translate into postseason success? I don't know. It hasn't so far, but he's been injured and all that. But regular season, I mean, you know, all these big games that they're going to get, I assume the Wolves are going to be one of the most, nationally televised games here. I would think they would be. You already got Ant.
Yeah.
Now you add LaMelo. I mean, the kids love him. Like, there's something to that that I don't want to discredit. Especially when you sort of like, you've kicked the tires a couple times, you've gotten close, and it's like, well, will this work or not? Well, let's switch it up.
All I can think of is Tim Connolly going into Alex Rodriguez's and Mark Laurie's office and pitching, "Hey, let's go get LaMelo Ball." And Alex Rodriguez walking around, picks up his little bat, like Jalen Rose used to have, and
start some cuts in.
Start to swing it and just say, is this a good move? Am I gonna knock this one out of the park?
It's good for jersey sales. And they have new kits.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna sell 1 million jerseys.
They do look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, there's lots of LaMelo Ball fans, so yeah, it works out pretty well.
Let's hear what the people think here in the stream team. Grade it from both sides, Wolves, Hornets. Do you think this works? Is this insane?
Is it just a money move to make money on? Is that what it is?
Hey, man, it is all business, isn't it? You tell us. We'll take a quick break, and we got a million other things to talk about here. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel done change the game. Because sometimes your player that you got bets on gets subbed off, and your bet goes with them. You're like, whoa. Not anymore. FanDuel's super sub. If your player gets subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the pitch, your bet continues with the substitute if the sub comes in. So you're still in it.
That's pretty cool.
Until the final whistle. Yeah, maybe you need another goal, assist, whatever, shots, targets, all that. That is pretty cool. Super sub. So visit FanDuel.com to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. There's been goals, but let there be more as we get closer and closer to the knockout stage. Canada knows who they're playing. Playing South Africa.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not in Canada.
No, it's LA, right?
LA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
We needed Canada on Wednesday, I guess that was, to draw or win.
Just to tie the thing.
Yeah. They had their chances at the end. Oh, boy. Got to find the back of the net, though, boys, and you got to shoot it to find the back of the net. A couple times you probably could have shot it, but
it was great. It was great watching the BBC feed because they were just questioning Canada as they went down. They went down 2-0, right?
Yes, they did. That's correct.
Because
it was down 1-0, and then they gave up a goal right at the start of the second half.
Yeah.
Like 50 seconds in. You're like, oh, crap.
It was great.
And then they put up a good fight at the end.
It was so fun hearing the Brits just question the Canadian, just that they were struggling. It was a big struggle bus, but it was good. Second half was fun.
They're through to the knockout round. And I know there's 100%. More teams and all that and all the caveats, but I like that we have the 3 host nations are at least through to do or die soccer here. In United States, they had a crazy loss last night. Didn't matter. Mexico and then Canada. So that's cool.
Yeah. I was screaming Turkey, yay, when they beat the U.S. yesterday.
Why?
Just because I like saying Turkey, yay.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, I've said a few things because I like saying it. Turkey, yay. 34. When I said Rudy Gobert's age, there was something else. I'll remember it later.
Okay. We have other news to get into. On Wednesday, the Detroit Pistons traded backup big man Isaiah Stewart to the Memphis Grizzlies for 3 future second-round picks. Hilariously, the trade involved this very same second-round picks that Detroit sent Memphis on Tuesday to move up from number 21 to number 17 in the first round. These things are just getting, handed around here like basketball cards, these second-round picks. Did you see the stat going around that, like, the percentage, at least in the second round, all but 1 second-round pick was traded? I think the Raptors were the only team to actually use their second-round pick on the guy and select him.
Yeah, we'll get to
insane.
Henri Veesaar a little later. There was so much second-round pick being traded.
Yeah. It is pretty funny. Anyway, but Beef Stew here is the player going to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he joins a front court here, young front court, right, with number 3 pick Cameron Boozer and then number 21 pick Kareem Lopez. In addition to third-year center Zach Edey, who is not old by any means, but he's only played in 77 games because he's unfortunately always hurt. So what do you think of this from either the Grizzlies or Pistons side? And we got more Pistons news to lump in here. But
yeah, starting from the Grizzlies side, it is cool to see Isaiah Stewart be wanted to go somewhere where maybe he can establish a bit of a culture there. I think that's what this is all about for the Memphis Grizzlies, for Thomas Isalo to say, hey, teach our Zach, teach our Boozer how to be gritty and fight. And with Zach Edey specifically, it's all about positioning and all that, and Isaiah Stewart can potentially pass that along. Guy has definitely given Detroit that type of culture from him and others, obviously, but he was a big part of that, and I think he could do that with Memphis. Well, at the same time, the Detroit just moving on from a guy who was part of who they were. is big.
Yeah.
And it sure feels like they're going elsewhere.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Detroit in 1 second here because I just want to add that Isaiah Stewart is one of the best rim protecting bigs in the NBA season, despite being 6'8". He is not huge, but Beef Stew allowed opponents to shoot just 44% at the basket last season per NBA Advanced Stats, which led all players with at least 100 shots defended. The previous season, he was second best behind Chet Holmgren. So this is a 2-year sample here. The guy is amazing. We've talked about it. You've talked about it before, like his weird timing.
Oh, yeah.
At sort of preventing guys scoring inside.
The late jumper.
Yeah, exactly. So this is relatively a minor commitment here, I would say, from the Grizzlies too. He's just turned 25 and he's like a $15 million player. Mm-hmm. So this is good work by them, I think, here, especially with the young guys that they have in the front court to add. Not that he's old. I just said he's 25, but he'll be the more experienced of the bunch and he can play.
He can play.
And he'll be playing also for a contract coming up here, whether it will be Memphis or another team. So he's going to want to show it that way too.
Yeah, I think he's there to be a teacher. He's also there to score a little bit. He's not a scorer.
Tried to add the 3-point shot.
Yeah, he's a capable player. It didn't work out in Detroit because they need offense. Really, they're lacking so much in offense. It makes Isaiah Stewart's offense look even worse when he's out there.
I mean, he was out of the rotation in the playoffs, basically.
Yeah.
Because they had to be like, all right, Paul Reed can at least do something offensively.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Beef Stew, you're basically out.
Yeah. You need to be able to handle a little bit more. We need to be able to handle a little bit more to help out our offense, and that's not Isaiah Stewart. Like he's there to bang home a three at times and bang some other players on the defensive end, and he's increased his ability to not just have to fight anymore. You know, that was the biggest question was, can Isaiah Stewart emotionally be able to handle the mental side of the game? And he has been able to do that. Mm-hmm. So,
but he still plays with an edge, which is good.
You need that.
But you're right.
But he doesn't punch himself out of the league.
Isaiah Stewart, I don't think you're ever going to be doing this with him. You're not putting him at the middle of the paint there when the doubles come up Cade or a zone's pressed on you. And it's like, you're throwing it to Beef Stew to operate and make quick decisions. I mean, this is not happening, I don't think.
No.
Can he hit a corner three? Yeah. Can he be an elite defensively? Yes. But that's why obviously Paul Reed could do something with the ball a little bit.
Yeah, scary part was with Asar Thompson out there too as a non-shooter, and he had to work in the lane. There was just no room. No. But if you're playing with 4 shooters, it's way different for Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah. So by renouncing their own free agents, if they elect to do this, most notably Tobias Harris, partially guaranteed Duncan Robinson, the Pistons can now get to around $33 million in cap space this summer with Isaiah Stewart's money off the books. And they've been linked to a number of, obviously, guards this year. We've already talked about this a little bit. A couple of them are off the board now. If there was any realistic chance to try and get Austin Reaves, let's say, Coby White was linked to them. So there's some names gone, but Norman Powell, maybe there's still a Tyler Hero move. There's some other ones. We think they're adding some scoring. Mm-hmm. But in addition to all this, according to Sam Amick of The Athletic, All-NBA forward Jalen Duren was underwhelmed by the Detroit Pistons' initial offer in restricted free agency and is planning to explore sign-and-trade scenarios when they're permitted to do next Tuesday. So this was the article, I guess, last night here from Amick at The Athletic. Duren is eligible for a 5-year, $287.1 million extension. That would be 30% of the Pistons salary cap. That's because he made All-NBA. But Sam wrote, the gap between the sides is large enough that Duren is considering ways to land elsewhere. Again, sign and trade route deemed preferable to signing an offer sheet with another team that the Pistons could and likely would match. What do you think of this? The idea maybe that Jalen Duren won't be on the Pistons.
I think it's just a negotiation tactic.
Okay.
I think he does go back to the Detroit Pistons. Because if you go sign somewhere else, let's say it's just a restricted free agent offer, you go sign with a team that's able to sign you to 4 and 177 because you got cap room. You need cap room to be able to sign that much. So it doesn't apply to a lot of teams out there.
Right.
I think the Pistons say, no problem. We'll match that.
We're just not doing 5.
Not even close.
2.7 or 2.87. Dear Lord.
No, not even close.
Right.
Like, I don't know what Trajan Langdon is doing in the negotiation room, but I think he should say, in part, okay, let's forget the idea that you made All NBA. Forget about that.
Right.
Well, let's go back to the 25%, which is still a ton. I mean, even still 200 million and all that is still a ton, but I think that would be the ballpark. Now, the sign and trade part, what names are we talking about? Because if you're making that much money, we're talking about big time players. And we could be talking about the Kawhi Leonard rumor that the ESPN has thrown out there that Detroit is looking for Kawhi Leonard, who has 1 year left on his contract, but apparently does not want to re-sign in Detroit. He only wants to re-sign with the Toronto Raptors, I mean, that's a rumor, or the San Antonio Spurs. The two teams that he's played for outside of the Clippers, those would be the two teams that he would go to. So I don't see that sign and trade happening because we're talking a lot of money here with Jalen Duren. Beyond that, there's the Jalen Brown talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I'm Brad Stevens, or I don't even need to say if I'm Brad Stevens. I think Brad Stevens is thinking, that's a downgrade, and we're not doing it. And I think Jalen Brown is capable of coming back and playing for this team, so I don't think they're doing that at all.
Okay.
And then there's Tyler Hero, something like that. But are the Bucks doing that? I don't know. That one makes a little more sense player-wise because the Pistons need a Tyler Hero, and maybe the Bucks will say, all right, we'll take on Jalen Duren, but they have Miles Turner. It's a weird scenario.
How much money would they
That's
have?
why I think
centers?
he ends up in Detroit.
So you think this is just more negotiating here?
Yeah,
I mean, the question is
the Pistons need a baller. That's for sure. A perimeter baller. That's for sure.
Yeah,
at some point.
The real question is how hard are the Pistons playing ball here when it comes to these negotiations? Because Ziller wonders if Jalen Duren and his agents are maybe balking at the idea of a 25% max. That's what you were saying. Pretend you didn't make all NBA.
Yeah.
That's still a ton of money. That could still be up to 5 years, like 240, right?
That's still
that's probably
too
way too much after what we saw in 14 playoff games
yeah.
where the guy was scoring 10 points per game and he was shooting pretty low efficiency for a center, especially compared to his numbers in the regular season. So, or is Detroit offering even less than that? Or is Detroit trying to include team options in this? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you believe the report from Sam, which why wouldn't you? The gap between the sides is large enough. What it's really how you interpret what that is. So we'll see here, but I don't know. I think this is actually smart though from the Pistons, as crazy as that sounds.
Just to lower the number?
Yeah, don't just give him whatever he wants. Maybe this isn't an issue if the guy's scoring 25 and 12 rebounds in postseason games and, living up to the hype.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. It cost himself a lot of money.
Just
did.
Yeah.
We're playing the Magic and the Cavaliers, too.
Right.
Like, we're not playing the best of the best teams.
I think the whole article from Sam Amick is based upon the fact that this is just a negotiation tactic between agent and the front office. And I do question the article because the first line is all NBA forward Jalen Duren. The man's not a forward.
Well, okay, yes.
And you don't even have positions for all NBA teams anymore.
Right. He's all NBA. That's all that matters.
It's just a stupid comment. I think it doesn't really matter. The worrisome part was the playoffs. And it does suck for Trajan Langdon to see the possible numbers that Jalen Duren is capable or is able now to make because the numbers are just too much. Like the cost is just too much.
And in this, apron era of the CBA in this league, it's like these are the ones you got to get right. It feels like not your main guy. Those are max guys. That's Cade. It's these, the second, second, potentially third best player on your team. Once you start getting into these type of numbers, what he wants, obviously a max, it's like, you're just, I don't know, you're putting yourself in a very difficult position.
Oh, you know what the Trajan Langdon should do? You made me think of Jalen Brunson in New York. Mm-hmm. He should put a contract in front of him and cover the last name. So it just says Jalen on it, and it'll say the numbers that Jalen Brunson makes over the next few years because he signed for way less. He signed his extension for way less because this cat was getting paid a monstrous amount of money. So Brunson took less. Just push that forward and say, hey, you see these numbers? This is what you should be making. And he'll look at it and say, no. And then you lift it off
but
and you say...
his agent would slide another piece of paper back, covered last name, Jalen, spelled differently, of course, but it's Jalen Brown's numbers. He'd say, well, look at this. You want to play Jalen contract? I can play a Jalen contract.
But this guy just won a championship,
Yeah, but my guy won a championship too and was finals MVP as well. We got dueling Jalen's here, man. What I want
Jalen Banjos.
What number do you think will be fair for both sides, or what, if he does stay with the Detroit Pistons?
What is fair in today's NBA?
Well, I mean,
I just know that it's going to be more than what Jalen Duren. I was going to say worth, but hopefully he gets better. And he's going to be around the NBA for a long time. He's going to be really good. But as far as a number, I would hope it's a little under 40, but it's 40 is probably it. I think 5 for 200.
Oh, I was wondering. Yeah, 4 for 200.
Why would you do 4 for 200? Oh, you're talking about restricted free agent?
Well, yeah.
I think he'll end up in Detroit. I'm thinking the Detroit numbers and what Langdon's going to offer.
You'd love to see him, if you're the Pistons front office, him making around $40 million per. He's thinking obviously I'm way more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, but where is he going to get that from? He's not.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, what he can make as a max number from somebody outside of Detroit is 4 for 177.
Well, Lakers would have a lot of cap room in theory still, right?
That's all you can sign him for. Is 4 for 177, unless you do a sign and trade. But that's different.
Sign and trade, right.
Who's coming back at that money?
All right, we'll keep our eye on this one. And Jalen Duren working out a deal with the Pistons or not. Maybe it is a sign and trade here. Let's talk about the Lakers, because their guard, Austin Reaves, has signed a 4-year, $185 million contract to remain with the franchise. He declined a $14.9 million player option, which was to trigger this payday. So in terms of average annual salary, this deal is a full max contract for a player with 6 or few years of experience. However, the Lakers could have re-signed Reaves for up to 5 years too. So there's, this was the negotiation, I guess. 4 years, 185. Biggest contract ever signed by an undrafted free agent in NBA history. So congratulations to Austin Reaves on that. That is pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think about this?
I have no touch as to how much each guy is making in the NBA. When it comes to salary cap, I'm not doing the spreadsheets. That would make it more understandable for me, but I was just talking about Jalen Duren making somewhat similar money as Austin Reaves, because it sounds like a lot for Austin Reaves.
Mm-hmm. I think we all expected this, though.
We did, yeah, and that's why I hesitate and I say he's earned it. Definitely in the regular season. Now he's got to show it in the playoffs. He did have that one good run against the Memphis Grizzlies where he said, "I'm him." No. What did he say? He, me, him. I know it's like a 2 short words. It, me, I, me. Whatever it was. He's a very capable player aside Luka Doncic. I think the physicality part is the important part, is if he can get stronger and durable, then he can do it in the postseason. And maybe these last few years have been a good trial run for him.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, you have $100 million now to Luka and Austin Reaves. And by the way, Luka, it sounds like he wanted Austin Reaves back. He sees him as an important piece, as a running mate. So, I mean, you're obviously going to talk to him about that.
Yeah, it's like me and Kyrie. Kyrie's a different player, but, that type of thing.
And he is a defensive liability, though, Austin Reaves. I mean, and like Luka's not a lockdown defender, too. So that's a bit of a scare. I don't see why he, this idea strength and all that, or defensive acumen, I don't see it changing much, because Austin Reaves is not 22 years old like Jalen Duren is. He's 28. It took a little longer to get here and get established. He was underpaid, by the way, for a long time here over these last couple of years. Now he's maybe will be overpaid, but maybe it all washes out, right? But the simple truth is, having Reaves, I think at this price, next to another poor defender in Luka, is a tough spot, at least, to build a championship team. Impossible? No, but tough. Then again, what were you going to do? Are you going to lose Reaves? You're going to have a massive hole in your offense. So they were sort of, their hands were tied, I think, so to speak here. And he was going to always sort of get this. Because I don't know what, you're just going to let him go? I mean, no. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot. I have never been the biggest Austin Reaves fan. I know there are believers in him. I haven't. This deal screams a little bit Zach LaVine 2.0 to me. It does. Because Zach LaVine was coming off all-star seasons with the Bulls before he signed a 5-year, $215 million deal in the summer of 2022. He was around the same age. His average salary was basically the same here, $43 million per. And what was happening? The Bulls were looking to trade him, felt like a year later. Took a little longer to get out of it. But I'm a little fearful of the type of player he is, because those guys are scorers for sure. They contribute around the edges in other departments, but like, I don't know. That's what it feels like to me.
Right.
This could be bad, is my point.
I hear you.
But what else could they do?
But the difference between the Lakers now and what the Bulls were then was the Bulls had money tied up into so many guys with Levine, DeRozan, Vooch, and Lonzo Ball at the time. Like you just said,
you're right.
It's just Luka.
And one team has Luka Doncic. Is the other part too.
Yeah, you're right. I hear what you're saying. Now it's just Luka, Reaves, and their highest paid player for next year is Jared Vanderbilt at $12 million because LeBron is unsigned. But they were trying to get. We just mentioned about Isaiah Stewart. They would have loved to have Isaiah Stewart. They didn't have the picks. They didn't have those 3 second-round picks even. Their cupboard is pretty bare. So it is a scary time here for the Lakers.
It really depends. Do you think Austin Reaves is in the same caliber, same tier, let's say, as guys like Devin Booker and Trae Young and De'Aaron Fox and Jamal Murray? I'll just throw those 4 for now, because if you believe that, then there's no real big problem with this contract, because it's similar to what those guys make in terms of, Booker a little bit more, but like where they start and where it goes. It's around the ballpark. And Reaves did average 21, 5, and 6 over the last 2 seasons on really good efficiency, 47, 37, 87 shooting splits as a second, sometimes third option. So it's not really an overpay when I do look at it compared to these other guys. But I also don't know, and I'm not sure that I think he's better than some of these guys. So I don't. But then again, it's like, shut up. I am. Look at my numbers. Look what I've done. The guy has played through injury too. I mean, that was a big blow on the last postseason. I think he probably shouldn't even have been out there, but he sucked it up and gave it a go. So we'll see. I don't think this is going to age all that well, but he's proven everybody wrong through his entire career here. So why not another one in me?
Yeah. I am, as you said, or I'm him, as he said against the Memphis Grizzlies.
I'm him,
yeah. I think I said that because I tried them all. But when I say physicality, it's not just about defense. It's about being healthy and being this sport. It takes a lot out of guys over a 6-month regular season, and then here we go for the playoffs. So I think Austin Reaves just has to get stronger in that regard. And then, as I mentioned about the other parts around him, we know what Luka wants. He wants great defensive players. So if he's okay with Austin Reaves, it's about, number one, bringing Rui Hachimura back, and then hoping that somehow they get some gift of an incredible center defending everything, and it's not DeAndre Ayton anymore, and a power forward too. They got lots of holes. I mean, they got holes across the board. Right now, it's those 2 guys in the backcourt, but then you're hoping for what? I mean, Jake LaRavia to be a new guy, DeAndre Ayton again to be even better. I mean, they have holes at the 3, 4, 5, really.
Yeah, they had a lot of work still to do here.
Oh, yeah.
A ton of off-season work in terms of filling out the rest of the roster. I mean, of course, there's the huge LeBron James question, too. What's going on there? I wonder if Reaves can continue his streak of increasing his points per game scoring every season. Comes in, scores only 7 points per game, obviously, as a rookie. Then up to 13, sort of got his name in 6 man of the year conversations, fringe. Then it was up to 15.9. Then it was up to 20.2. And last year, 23.3 points per game in 50 or so games because he was injured a little bit. So, they're hoping he's still a 25 point per game scorer, I think, or around that. Yeah,
absolutely.
But he tries hard on defense. I'll give him that. But he is not by any means a defensive lockdown player. No, and it's tough next to Luka.
Guys who see him in front of them, they feel like they can be more physical than him. They're stronger than him.
Yeah.
And so that's...
Their eyes light up a little bit.
That's where the work has to happen.
Al Horford, your guy.
There he is.
Sexy eyes, returning to the Golden State Warriors next season. Big Al is declining his $6 million player option and intends to sign a 2-year, $14 million contract to return to the Warriors once free agency begins next month. His new deal will be fully guaranteed and includes a trade kicker. Any thoughts on this? Al Horford sticking around, it sounds like.
Al Horford pointed out when Yaxel Lendenborg was drafted by the Golden State Warriors that their dads played together for the Dominican Republic national team. Wild stuff. Tito Horford and Okari Lendenborg way back in the 90s. I'm excited to see, an old Al for sure, but him sort of guide Yaxel Lendenborg, who's going to be 24 next season when the season starts. So he's older, but he's huge. And I know I'm starting to talk about Yaxel Lendenborg rather than Al Horford. We know what Al Horford is, but if he can help Yaxel Lendenborg be better positionally, defensively, just to do everything defensive to help use that 7'4" wingspan. The guy is really, really big. I think that's well worth every penny for Al Horford.
Horford will become the 13th player in NBA history to reach a 20th season. He joins LeBron James, Vince Carter, Chris Paul, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, Kevin Willis, Robert Parrish, Kyle Lowry, Udonis Haslem, who I sort of feel like Al Horford is becoming, as that vet guy in the locker room, Jamal Crawford, Kobe Bryant, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I should note, Mike Conley should become the 14th player if Mike Conley is playing this coming season, which I imagine he will be. I haven't heard any whispers about him retiring.
Forgot about Jamal Crawford.
So, yeah, it's a lot of guys there, but we're up to 14. A lot of these guys obviously more recent. There wasn't many playing 20 years. It was like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Chief.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kevin Willis got in the mix.
Jamal Crawford had that weird thing. In his 20th season, he played just one game.
Oh.
And it was on August 4th because it was a weird COVID game where he played 6 minutes for the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, so you're saying we should almost cross him from the list?
Never. Okay. We'll never cross a Crawford.
Horford, though, did last year deal with sciatica issues. He had the calf strain, so he didn't miss time last year. He only played 45 games.
Yeah.
And Al Horford does not generally, in what was still at this point a 19-year career,
he doesn't.
Not many times has missed less than like 60 games. Like, it's like a handful.
So is this too big a contract?
No. I would pay anything to keep Al Horford around. Like, he can still contribute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome locker room guy. And I think you're right with the Yaxel Lendenborg part. I'm sure there's a part of it, like pairing up with him, make him a pro. If I would think so.
Keep him around the locker room.
And it's like, keep him around. I mean, he's basically signing it's like $1 million more. If it was a $6 million, and then now it's going to be 7 here for 2. So yeah, it was smart of him to get the trade kicker probably in there.
I'd love to have him in the locker room.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the chocolate milk fridge.
I think he still drinks chocolate milk.
Let's pop at chocolate milk. I think so.
He also, by all accounts, will not be participating in international hoops for the Dominican team this summer at all. So maybe a little more fresh here moving forward and healthy. Restricted free agent Mark Williams intends to sign a 3-year, $38 million fully guaranteed contract to return to the Phoenix Suns. So this means the Suns have locked in the last of their own priority free agents here, reaching terms with Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin over the weekend, and now Mark Williams. 3 years, $38 million. Your thoughts?
This is their team from last year. Exactly what, as you said, Colin Gillespie gets 4 for 48. Mark Williams, also, I think a very good contract on the Phoenix Suns side. And for Mark Williams' side, I think, maybe after one more year of playing good, healthy ball, he could have got more somewhere else. But I think this is good value for the Suns. And Mark Williams saying, thank you for believing in me, unlike the Lakers who wrote me off after that physical. So, yeah, good money. The Suns are running back the same team. And that's what they did to themselves after the whole Durant-Beal thing. They had to extend the length of being an average team. They're, a very, very impressive season last year, and they overachieved, but they can't really do much more, it doesn't feel like, than that, right? How much better can they possibly get? Right. If they're healthy, if Dylan Brooks is healthy, then maybe they can get better.
He's contract extension eligible, Dylan Brooks. Still,
he's got 1 year left.
I wonder
if
they'll explore that. Yeah, there's no doubt they're running it back. I think some people are like, what? You're running that back? Like, they're rolling their eyes at it, but then
they're good.
Maybe this is a better path to sustained success than what they did, obviously, and it blew up in their face. Hell, they got Bradley Beal still on their books. I mean, he's making $20 million, dead money, right?
They're just trying to build a good program, like the Charlotte Hornets, I think. It's all about the program.
Mark Williams is a solid starting center. And he played last year. That was good. Career high, 60 games.
Right.
This guy has been injured a lot. Obviously failed the physical once upon a time. But he gives you 12 and 8 He's got good hands. He's solid again, on the glass and stuff like that. Generally, though, from your 7'1" center, you'd like a little defense, and that is not his forte. He does not block a lot of shots, and ESPN says Mark Williams has allowed opponents to shoot around 65% at the rim throughout his career. That's insane, insanely high.
Very high.
It's like one of the worst marks among all the NBA bigs. So, they're just, I think they're not ready for, obviously, Malawach is not ready. He's too raw yet, if he ever even blossoms into that. And then, who else is their other big? I always forget the guy's name.
Iguodala.
Yes, thank you. Iguodala.
It was not all that big.
No, really, no.
No.
More of a Diabate almost sort of center type guy, right?
Yeah.
Size-wise.
I mean, yeah, he's smaller than Diabate, if I'm not wrong.
Is he?
But yes, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, they're lacking.
So they're just like, but these are not bad deals. Like,
not at all.
Like you could trade any of these guys, and they're all quality players. So I'm talking in Gillespie and Goodwin and him now. So this is, I don't think this is bad work.
No.
As they try and stay competitive.
Before Mark Williams was acquired by the Phoenix Suns, this would be a bad contract because he didn't play all that much. But this past year earned him some more money, and he was their best center, as you said. So if they want to run back the same team with a capable center in Mark Williams, this is how much you got to pay.
My final thought on this team, though, is I'd be a little shocked if they don't trade either Jalen Green or, more likely, Grayson Allen here this offseason. Or let me put it this way. I'd be shocked if both those guys are on the team by opening night in 26-27.
Yeah, you said the same thing.
Yeah.
You said
both guys have 2 years left on their deals if they pick up their player options in 27-28. Allen makes about $18-19 million. Green is double that, $36 million. So this coming season, then it goes down to $30 million in the player option year.
The Suns would say
it's going to be a tough contract to get off, but
the Jalen Green.
Yeah.
The Suns would say, "Hey, we want to see a full season of all our guys actually healthy," because this was the first year, if I'm not mistaken, that Jalen Green was actually injured. And it was. I mean, he's played in.
Oh, yeah. He was a bit of an Iron Man there for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played 82 in 2 straight seasons prior to this past one, 76 the year before that, and 67 in his rookie year, but just 32 last year. So the Suns will say, hey, we got to see our guys play. Grayson Allen only played in 51 games. Dylan Brooks only played in 56 games. So they had a lot of injuries as well. That's going to happen in basketball, but I think they will. They do want to give Jalen Green an actual year to see what he is with this team. And I think
Grayson Allen will be the one moved, probably. Because they're, they got to help out their own books a little bit here, too. This isn't actually an expensive team, despite being pretty mediocre. So moving forward. Final piece of news here. On Wednesday, the Atlanta Hawks acquired the draft rights to center Henri Veesaar, the 52nd overall pick in the 26 NBA draft from the LA Clippers in exchange for the 57th pick and good old cash considerations. This was your sleeper pick when we were looking at the draft. You liked what you saw from the big UNC center.
Oh, he's good.
And this guy just kept slipping. We thought he might go in the first round.
Yeah,
we thought maybe late first round. Obviously made it to the second day and nearly to the end of it, but the Hawks get him in the end.
Yeah, in part, Henri Veesaar's agent said, hey, you got to guarantee this guy a contract. And a lot of the teams are in the second round want to sign guys to 2-way contracts.
Yep.
And so they save money that way. And that's why he kept slipping. Not because he's bad, but because he's that good. I think it's just a fun story. It's Friday here. Sometimes we do worst of the week. I was going to make this best of the week because I thought it was super fun what the Hawks were able to do here to go get him. Because I think they got 3 first-round players over the 2 days of the draft with Veesaar. He's damn good. And slipping to 56, and he deserves a guaranteed contract. 52, excuse me. You got I thought at 56, the Lakers were going to get him. The Lakers wanted him real bad. They didn't have a second-round pick. So they went and acquired a 56, the number 56 pick from the Bulls. They said, here's some cash, give us the 56 pick. And that's when Ansi Saleh and the Hawks front office said, well, I'm taking him at number 52. They swooped in and got the 52 pick for the Clippers. And then the Lakers said, oh, shit. And they just traded that 56 pick away. Oh, we don't need that.
Yeah, okay.
Mavs, you take that. You get Svevolod. Man, that name is hard reading it. It's Svevolod Ischenko. Anyways, Ischenko is Russian
We'll
player.
hear from him.
Yeah, we'll see. But we definitely. Anyways, Veesaar is so good. We will hear from him because he's damn good. He's very capable, big, who can shoot the three, but he can handle a little bit too. He can put it on the floor just a little bit, but he's good in pick and roll situations and pick and pop situations. He was asked by Atlanta reporters, "Hey, how did you develop your game?" And he said, "Listen, at 12, I was pushed into a point guard role because I couldn't play center on our team." He didn't clarify why this monstrous man couldn't play center, but he was put into this point guard role.
Scary.
And he's capable of that. He needs to get better physically, but I think this is great. He complimented the Hawks player development department. Like, that's why
he doesn't even know them.
Well, his agents do. His agent said we want to go to Atlanta in part, and they are able to sway these teams in the second round to say, hey, come, let's get a guaranteed contract. We know you've got great player development. Veesaar will be dedicated, and so some teams are reluctant to sign a guaranteed contract with second round
round. A lot
players.
of teams were.
That's why they got the heck out, as you said, with all those trades. The Lakers were not. The Lakers wanted to do this. See Bronny James. They give a second round pick a guaranteed contract, no problem. Here, they wanted to do with Veesaar, but instead they got Ishchenko, and they said,
"You're high
you take
on him,
him,
man."
He's good.
Let the record show. Tas demanded that this piece of news be included in today's Drop podcast.
Well,
I was ready to cut it. I was like, we got a million things to talk about. You're like, I got to talk about Veesaar.
Well, he could go out and help a bunch of teams as a backup center. That's why the Lakers wanted him. They'll take him. It might take him a little while, but he's going to be a rotation player.
All right. Well, it is the Drop. We got to do rapid fire. And I've got the questions. I'll answer along with Tas and JD. Here we go. The streets in Charlotte are now marked safe from LaMelo Ball's driving. So no more cutting off traffic, running red lights, crashing custom-made Hummers. Thankfully, no one was injured there. But Minneapolis drivers better buckle up now. I mean, LaMelo Ball is going to be driving in the snow. Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
What's something else that's difficult to do in wintry conditions, Tas?
Great question. It's been so wild. We haven't talked about the winter.
You're right.
Being down here. Hanging my clothing outdoors. It's impossible. It's too cold. I want my clothing to be kissed by the sun and kissed by weather. Oh, gosh, as the wrinkles just naturally de-wrinkle.
Wow.
Instead of putting it in the dryer, I just want to say hello to nature. I want to put my feet on grass or whatever people say. Do
you guys have a clothesline here in Atlanta?
I used to. In my other house, I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah,
at that one place.
Sweet. It was sweet.
Are you even allowed clotheslines?
Oh, no, he can't now.
Why? Because of HOA rules?
Yeah, for sure.
No, come on. You can't hang a line.
Some HOAs they frown
I wouldn't
upon
be shocked if you couldn't.
No, it's not in the covenant.
You know what? I would double check that. Just test it.
No,
put a nice line. Hang a shirt out of a window and see what happens.
Yeah, no, I hang a shirt. I can't argue. There's some stupid things.
Yeah.
I think there's a thing about birdhouses in my stupid
Okay,
rules.
well, if a birdhouse isn't legal, then I can't imagine.
Or you know what?
clothing line.
On a similar note to laundry lines, string lights, I think are. I don't know why, but they're frowned upon for some stupid reason. They may be part of the covenants, but the laundry line, oh baby,
There's no way. Anyways,
you think there's no way?
There's no way.
You know,
you
not
can't
to-
have a line. I guess
I can have. I live in America. There's a farm down the street. If I want to, I could string a clothesline from the roof of my house to the telephone pole across the street. And it's fine.
Not a damn thing they can do about it.
Ain't no HOA here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, how about the garbage truck every week will be ripping that thing off if you hang it across the street.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
All right, so wintry conditions. You didn't love not being able to hang your clothes when we were in Canada for at least half the year.
Yeah, at least, yeah, wow.
The other half, you were set. Yeah. I grew up with a clothesline.
Yeah,
Same with
yeah.
me, yeah.
Essentially, so.
Your clothes freeze. They're hard as rock.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
bring
yeah.
them in. And
Oh, that was good.
All right, JD, what about you? Something difficult to do in wintry conditions?
literally anything with my hands. My, So like playing pickleball outside, pissing, typing. Not that I piss with my hands.
Hey, no HOA here. He can piss wherever he wants.
Hell yeah.
Piss right on the next door neighbor's door for all he cares.
I don't
It's
think
America.
Couldn't do that.
Okay.
I just lose circulation in my hands. So it's like I can't feel them. So, it sucks.
Good one. My answer for this is, and I've actually never experienced it like in the wintry conditions, but JD, I know you have, having a dog. Having a dog, a lot more difficult if you live in the winter climate. Just a pain in the ass.
Oh, you haven't even been in snow with Luna.
No. Luna's seen a little bit of snow here in Atlanta. The few times we've been kissed by snow. But I just we're talking months. If I had this dog in Canada, and you had dogs in Canada, so you can speak to it. Like, what a pain in the ass, man.
Oh, yeah. Just get
You got to bundle up.
Totally.
Maybe the dog has to bundle up.
Sometimes you have to put boots on the dog.
Boots with salt. Yeah, that's right.
Boots on the dog.
Well, we used to put Vaseline on the dog's feet because it's not because of the salt.
Yeah.
The salt.
Yeah.
It's not the snow.
This sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah,
I'm in and out with Luna nonstop here in Atlanta. Which I love. I love being outdoors.
Yeah.
So does the dog. But that would suck in winter. How do people do it,
It would.
They love their dogs,
They love their dogs. I mean, I would do it, but I wouldn't be happy about it. All right, next one here. New Blazers owner Tom Dundon is digging in his heels that public money should fund a $600 million makeover of the Moda Center there. This dude, man. This guy's Ebenezer Scrooge. Under Dundon, the Blazers refused to print postseason shirts. They told two-way players to stay home during the playoffs, and they opted not to pay late checkout fees for most staffers on game days. I think they laid off people as well. He also just signed head coach Mike Inori to basically a one-year deal. Cheap, this guy.
Yeah.
But what in your life, Tas, do you pinch pennies on?
I think, back to Dundon for 1 sec, I think what he did with the Carolina Hurricanes, he owns the hockey team too that won the Stanley Cup. He got a lot of public money, but then he backed it up with his own private money. So I don't know exactly what the plan is here with the Blazers. But yeah, he knows how to watch his money. That's for sure. For me, fees in general, fees for banks.
Okay.
You want to save fees from banks? Go to Chime. Not an ad, but kind of an ad because we had a recent Chime ad.
Yeah, we've done Chime, yeah.
But yeah, I love dealing with bank fees. I love dealing with it. I know that sounds sarcastic, but now they've made it easier so you can just complain via chat. You can literally just through your app just say, "Hey, WTF with this fee," and they will refund it if it's warranted. Just like that. Don't got to talk to nobody. You can do 68 things at the same time. Beep, 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 beep. Do it on a phone, get an alert, and you're good to go.
I was excited to see where
Chime,
you were going to go with this
ad.
Question because I feel like you're smart with your money. You're very frugal. So there's probably a million things you could
Thank you for calling me frugal.
Well, you are.
I liked it. I hate overpaying.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. What about you, JD? What do you pinch pennies on?
My shot here, if you're watching on YouTube. We spent a lot of money on the lights for the set. And sometimes I appear on screen and I'm in a cave here with just a sort of floodlight above me, and I gave myself the worst camera. This is the off-brand sort of Temu version of the rest of the cameras in the studio.
We can't afford a new camera. Everybody get your super chats in right now so we can get a camera for JD.
No, it's more lighting. I'm going to address it this summer.
Yeah, and maybe behind yourself. And
all this stuff. That was the original plan.
It was part of the plan.
Yeah.
It just didn't. There was other things to do.
We got a 5-day-a-week show here. It's a grind.
It's a bit of a grind.
Yeah. So
all right. Okay. As for myself, parking. I am not a fan of paying for parking. And I don't pinch pennies in a lot of things in life. I really don't. And we are blessed enough that we don't have to worry about a lot of things like that. But man, something about it bugs me.
I hear
so
you.
I will I asked Nora, what should I answer for this? What do I pinch pennies on? She immediately oh my God, you and parking. Pain in the ass. Because we're going out for dinner. It's like, we don't need to valet. There's parking, paid parking. Let's just go. We'll find in Atlanta, you can find a lot of streets that you can just park on for free.
Absolutely.
Now you're going to have to walk a little bit. So she gets upset you're making it more difficult. Hey, I'm saving us $20 here.
I know, walking. It's the same for Danielle. Like, she doesn't want to walk 3 minutes.
That's insane
or
to me.
2 minutes. Because we paid for parking recently. What's the point? What's the point?
Just drop her off.
I've said that before.
It happens.
Yeah.
But they never want to do that.
No, they never want to do that. That's
I'll
a
drop
great
you
point.
at the door. And
I'll drop
see
you off.
you
You
in
go get
5
our
minutes.
table. Exactly.
Yeah. They don't want to do
No.
Don't put them all under that blanket. The blanket statement, JD.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You're saying they.
I'm saying
they as in our wives.
Yes.
I think.
Well, yeah, I just threw my. I'm totally with you. Yeah. Although I was pleasantly surprised. Actually, you mentioned the valet at a restaurant. It was just tip. It wasn't. You don't have to pay an actual.
It's included in your.
I thought that
meal,
was
I
great.
guess.
I was pleasantly surprised. Then I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to tip you if it's free. It's not free, but I'm going to tip you because it's,
sure, that's the way to do it.
Happy to do that.
Okay. Yeah, valet I don't mind as much. I like whatever. It's a service. Usually there's valet because maybe they're short on parking and all that, and they take the car somewhere and all that. But
Yeah.
I just can't stand like just these paid parking slots, which by the way are dangerous as hell in Atlanta because like these spots for parking are all way too skinny.
Yeah.
And like all you look at is pillars. There's black marks all over them. People have banged in them left and right. Like, don't go down there. I'm afraid somebody's gonna ding my car half the time. So just park on the road. Walk over 2 blocks. It's beautiful here. They're gonna say it's too hot. It might rain. I pinch pennies on parking. All right, final one here. Earlier this week, we were debating, I believe both on camera and off camera, but I can never remember when we're recording and what we're arguing about. But we were debating about whether we've officially run out of original questions to ask one another.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, after 20 years of podcasting, damn near 5,000 podcasts, whatever number we're at, it's getting increasingly more difficult to come up with a unique question. But I think I got one here, guys. What's a rapid fire question we haven't asked before? Tas.
I have a rebuttal of a question. When has someone contributed to something that we said on the show immediately after? Well, the answer is just now. Hong D84 has contributed $20 to JD's camera fund.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Hong?
All we have to do is ask. You know, you just got to ask.
My actual answer was, if your shoes could tell one story, what would it be? I just like the wording.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah, it
Wait,
is.
could you repeat the
I
question?
said if your shoes could tell one story, what would it be? Now, I'm more of a feet guy. It's more about the feet than the shoes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if your feet, a weathered foot. What story could a weathered foot tell?
It doesn't sound as poetic though,
Yeah,
does
exactly.
it? If your weathered foot could tell a story, what would it say?
Yeah, if your
not as
if
pretty.
your hard, crusty ass feet could tell one story, what would it be? But if your shoes could tell one story, what would it be?
Oh. Do we have to answer these questions?
No,
Or
I don't think
Okay,
so.
okay.
Because the answers would probably be exactly the same as the answer to if you had to do something for 20 straight years, what would it be?
Right.
Similar. Anyway.
That's right. I'll tell you what my wife's feet would say.
Uh-oh.
Not walking. Just kidding. JD, what's a rapid fire question we haven't asked before?
I don't know why I was thinking this. Probably just because I'm old, and I was wondering about my kids are sort of they're 19 and or 18 and almost 20, and I don't know if they've ever had a slow dance before. Remember slow dances?
Hell yeah.
Dances.
Yeah.
Oh my
you'd
God,
sort
yeah.
of wait and the slow dance would come on, and and then you start to always remember your first slow dance. So I guess that's my question. What was the song was your first slow dance?
Wow.
Yeah.
Song I don't know about.
Yeah, mine was Spandau Ballet, True. Sparrow Lake Camp, 1982
Okay.
or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
tough
familiar.
Shout out to Jay Chow, by the way, $10 more for the writing.
It's been added onto. I sometimes I'm at kids' schools and I say, "Is there a slow dance happening?" When I'm there at a slow dance, and I do see some different slow dancing. It's not as tight anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
There's distance.
Yeah. Okay.
You could fit like 3 people in between the 2 people if you really wanted to. So it happens out there, JD.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that.
I can't think of my first song. No way.
I got no idea on the song, but I did. My slow dance claim to fame is I remember I was young in high school, so probably grade 9 or 10, and I was still very short. I danced with Basma Hussein.
Basma Hussein.
Yeah, Hassan, I guess. She was much taller.
Okay.
So it was a very funny looking visual. But the reason the claim to fame is she went on to become, she's the wife of like a prince in Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, she's like royalty.
Wow.
And super accomplished woman, like super smart. I think she's like can fly she's a pilot, basically, like jet fighter almost. Like,
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, you should have held
But I
on
danced
to
with her.
her.
Yeah, well, yeah. She was cute. She was beautiful. She was weird. It was more of a friend thing. She was great.
Yeah,
Basma.
Shout out to Basma.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Jordan. Yeah. All right. I guess my answer to this. What's a rapid fire question we haven't asked before? I saw this on social media recently, so I wanted to ask you guys, and I do want answers for this. What could you throw farther, a baguette or naan?
Ooh.
Oh, I think it's non.
Frisbee style.
You know what?
Well, don't
I'd
count
crumple
out
it.
the javelin style,
You're
though,
crumpling
Can
it
you
up.
crumple
Somebody
a naan?
said the guy said this in
That's
this
what
clip.
I would do. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but would it fall apart in the throw? That's the thing. How malleable is it?
I think
flip.
there's some. Yeah, it's all about how it's baked. Like if there was yeast in it, I think it would stick together. It's all if it's a bad naan, yeah, it could fall apart.
Yeah.
If it's a dry.
Well, this was a debate, man. There was team baguette and team naan. Because the guys with the baguette are like frisbee style. It's got a little more weight to
Yes.
it.
Frisbee with a
Sorry, like javelin style,
javelin
football
style.
style is what I meant.
Yeah.
But I think
hear
it would
ya.
just start going. I don't know. I don't think you're throwing a spiral on the baguette. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's naan though too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to throw.
JD
I'm going baguette.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how are you throwing it? You're just gonna,
Javelin.
You're gonna javelin it. Wow.
Like-
yeah, maybe.
I'm going for the spiral, like past the ear,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's super fun to throw something like that and pretend
Yeah.
like you can.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I do it.
I'd like for us to test this.
We can test it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think, like, there'd almost have to be rules. Like the naan, if you could freeze the naan, then you're laughing. Then I think
Yeah,
that
no,
it's a damn frisbee.
If you could freeze the baguette, it's probably
I think
it's
the
less
naan's going
flimsy.
further in a frisbee form though. But if you can't, then that it's gonna wobble when you go to frisbee,
Yeah.
and that's gonna like obviously lose its velocity and its speed. And I don't know. I'm torn on this one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right in that a naan can just fall apart, though. I was
Yeah.
literally walking by a roof where a guy was working on top of the roof, and he signals to me, like points over. There's a hat like 15 feet down. Like the roof is like 15 feet high, so he's like, go get it for me. Essentially,
Okay.
he's like, can you pass it to me?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was more like 20 or 25 feet. It was really windy, and I kept trying to throw it up, and it kept being
Asked you
unsuccessful.
basically to throw up a hat to him.
Yeah. I was just walking by. It was like maybe it was 25 feet. And it was kind of hard to get down. Like you'd have to walk all the way around. But anyways, yeah, he just wanted his hat.
How many tries did it
And it
take
took
you?
me like 9.
Because you're trying. What type of hat?
A regular hat,
Like a ball cap.
Ball cap. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be tough. If it was like
was windy,
if
damn
it was
it.
a bucket hat, you'd probably get a little more frisbee like.
Yeah. I guess.
Be maybe a little easier.
But I scrunch it up as.
Oh, you went. So it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work really well at all. I had
Okay.
to climb up. No, I didn't climb up. I got it up there eventually.
I had to get a roofing license in my HOA to then climb up a ladder and hand him a hat. I'm just kidding. All right, that's rapid fire, not so rapid.
And another contribution
Oh
from
my God.
Diz Cup.
We might have a new camera come Monday morning for JD.
Well,
At this rate.
we also might have a beer fridge because Diz Cup said it. This one's for your beer fridge.
A beer fridge.
We have a normal
We got
fridge.
a fridge.
Yeah, we're good at that,
I gotta
thank
put
you.
this is going towards lights and camera.
Yeah. See, I think just to now spite Tas, you should put string lights up behind you. And just be looking at you every time. Well, man, I'd love to have those in on my house, but I can't.
Yeah, I break the rules, no problem.
Yeah.
Put a clothesline and string lights behind me.
Yeah, that's smart. You can put a different shirt up every day. That's smart.
Oh, I'll bring my wet laundry here to hang up behind you?
Sure, man. There's no rules here.
There is no rules here. Did you see the live stream we did for a watch party? It just turned into guys doing jump parts. Ain't no rules here, baby. All right, we'll call it there. Well, that's a long edition of the Drop Podcast. We got a lot to talk about. LaMelo Ball being moved to the Wolves, Beef Stew going to the Grizzlies, what's going on with Jalen Duren, and obviously Austin Reaves. A lot there. So hopefully if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. We're back on Monday unless there's an emergency podcast this weekend. There was a lot of chatter last night when I was getting ready to go to bed around Jalen Brown. I think Shams is saying this morning they're asking for 4 first-round picks. That's what the Celtics want. He was reporting that. So are we getting, are we getting close?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I believe it's happening. You less so.
I don't think so.
Right.
It has to be somebody great. Like this talk for potentially Kawhi talk. I mean, not necessarily going to the Celtics, but Kawhi to the Pistons. I think it would have to be that good of a player. Like really, really, really good for them to be able to do it. But now Jalen Brown he's in where he's in Europe or something.
Guess so.
Yeah, and he's having this back and forth. He was asked about his comments and he's defending himself and he called out Stephen A. Smith.
Oh yeah.
And then Stephen A. Smith went back at him. That's all.
All right, we'll wait to see if Jalen Brown gets traded. If it happens, we'll likely have an emergency podcast at some point this weekend. Otherwise, we're here Monday to break down all the news from the next 48 hours or so and maybe get in some World Cup talk. Oh, man, I didn't even talk about my World Cup experience.
Oh, you didn't?
We just had so much to talk about. Well, the short story is it was goddamn awesome. It was incredible. I saw Morocco 4, Haiti 2 on Wednesday night here in Atlanta. Electric atmosphere. It was so fun. So, yeah. If you have a chance, go to a World Cup game. It's not cheap, but it was honestly worth it. I had so much fun. All right, back on Monday. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Marina Mabry tied the WNBA single game scoring record with 53 for the tempo yesterday, dropping those threes.
9 threes made. Tied another WNBA record, yeah.
Deep threes.
Oh my God.
She was cool.
53, yeah. So it's her and a couple other.
Did Asia get to 53?
Yeah, Asia Wilson got, and then Liz Cambridge, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, those are the 3 now. Tempo.
500.
I was going to say, not bad for an expansion team.
Not bad at all.
Nope. Brace the weekend, people.